Hi everybody, it's Aubrey from Drafted, and I'm here with Veronica Armstrong, who is Head of Marketing at Mayflower Venues.
Hi everyone.
I know that a few years ago, after you spent some time at some much larger companies, and by larger I mean like thousands of people, you decided to move back over to Boston to work for a startup called LovePop. So I'm curious, how did you find and land this job?
Totally crazy story, and I'll keep it brief. When I was in Indiana, I was working as an associate channel manager, so I was overseeing about $50 million worth of seasonal programs at Target at a wholesale paper party manufacturer. From there, I moved on to the other side of the business as a product manager and digital marketing manager, and I was really enjoying that. But the Midwest just wasn't for my husband and I, so we spent some time thinking about what we wanted to do, and we ended up coming back to my hometown. And when I used to live here, I worked in the private sector, so I wasn't going to jump back into politics or anything like that. I do love it, but I was a little burnt out working really hard over the past few years, and my husband was like, stay home. Why don't you stay home and watch kids? And I was like, you know what? That sounds luxurious. I'm going to do that. That lasted, I think, 3 days, and he was still in Indiana packing up our house, and I started Googling around learning what startups were. I stumbled upon one that was in Techstars. I was interviewing. I was really excited about it when my husband found a LovePop opportunity, and he was like, this job was made for you. Go get it. And I was like, thanks. I already did Paper Party. I already did marketing for Paper Party. Like, I'm good. I love stationery. I'm so good. And he just wouldn't let it go. And he's a management consultant, so he put together a deck, and he sent it to our CEO, Wambi, and Wambi gave me a call. Brilliant guy. It was a very pleasant conversation, but I was still like, I'll meet him, but I'm not doing it. Like, I'm really into this other startup, I'm going for it. And then within 5 minutes of meeting Wambi, I was like, yes, I have to be here, these cards are gorgeous. And at the time, without knowing anything about the health of the business or where it was going, it was strictly like a passion play. His energy is amazing, and I do love paper, and I do love marketing, and my husband knows me better than I do. And then a few minutes later, I met John, our CEO, and LovePop's co-founder, and it just cemented it for me. They were brilliant, they were really excited about what they were doing, and you just cannot deny how beautiful those cards are.
They make great gifts.
Yeah, it's the perfect gift because it's an accessory to a gift, it's a gift itself, it's a really fun surprise. I could talk about LovePop for hours. If you want to do that, come see me, if I'll sit there all day.
Thank you for sharing that story. It's crazy how you can go from knowing nothing about startups to learning a little bit about them, and then all of a sudden you end up in one. Happens all the time, I think.
It was so intense. I had no idea what I was doing for, I think, the first 5 months. It was just, I learned so much and so quickly. I had no idea what doing things at scale meant and what it meant to do things that didn't scale, and how those two things interacted, and how you made the decision to do either or. I owe a lot to Wambi. So at the time, I was the first marketing hire. So the team was Wambi and me, and I learned so much from him on how to talk to customers, how to use those insights that you get from customers to inform your marketing programs, and on and on. So I think I had like 3 or 4 different roles during my time there, and you just can't get that at a giant company. So I'm super, super grateful for it.
Why do you think that it's important to have cultural gatekeepers like yourself in that first 50 to 100 hires at a company?
So startups are funny because in the beginning, nobody knows who you are, and you have no money, and nobody wants to work for you. That's it. So all that you have to sell people on an opportunity is your passion and your commitment and the learning opportunities that you have to offer, because you just can't compete on salary or anything else like that. That's really important in the marketplace. So you can pay people enough to live, but what you have to do is you have to make the case for, we have these things to offer that aren't only additional salary or financial benefits given the stage of the company. So for me in the beginning, it was very much about that. It was, how can I get the best people in here, and how can I show them what a great team member I am, and the rest of the company can be to this person, by showing them all that we have to offer that nobody else can replicate, right? So there was a real profound spirit of LovePop, and we really cared about hunger and magic, and we had something called the Awesome Bar, which is, if it doesn't reach the Awesome Bar or exceed it, just start over. So all of these, you know, internal things that matter a lot to us is really making it almost like a commodity and being like, yeah, I can't give you $20,000 more. I literally don't have it right now, but look at this. So in the beginning, that was really important because we need to hire people. But as you start to get attention and people know who you are and you become kind of hot, it's important to really guard against getting the wrong kinds of employees. So I think one thing that you can do is to not be quite as focused on the sexiness of people's resumes and really getting to know them as people. So one thing I like to ask, and this is going to sound really basic, but like, what's the last book you read? Right? So I know that if you don't read books, you're probably not going to be happy at that company. And it's not a judgment on the quality of your work or anything like that, but that's like one of those cultural questions. It's like, well, this is something we really value, is independent learning. Is this person a fit? Another really important thing is understanding people's motives. I don't know how it works at other companies, but at LovePop, if you were there to check something off on your resume or as like a stepping stone to another thing, it was just not going to work. It was a really, really tough environment from the perspective of it's an early stage company. We had a lot to build without a lot of money to just throw around. And if you can't be in the trenches with your coworkers and love every minute of it, even when you're on hour 14 or 15, and that's not to like glorify the hustle. It's like we were on Shark Tank. Sometimes that stuff happened. If you're not in it with everybody else and you're in it just for yourself, you're going to be miserable because that glory, the individual glory that some people are after, it's just not there in a culture like ours. So there's a lot to it, but it's just important. A bad hire costs you so much money. So you have to find your little questions and things to get to the core of what they want and how it aligns with what you're looking for.
I think those are really great values actually to have, especially in the hiring process. So thank you so much for sharing some of those tips with everybody.
I love interviewing people. It's so fun.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
I feel like some people dread it.
To me, one of the biggest accomplishments of my career is placing people in careers that they are really passionate about. And there's nothing more rewarding to me than watching somebody grow into their careers. And I hired someone as an intern who I think has had now 2 or 3 different jobs at LovePop. And every time I see his LinkedIn get updated, I'm just like so full of joy because to me, there's nothing better than knowing that I played a role in putting someone in their dream job and then just watching them like prosper from there. It's really exciting.
And that shows too, like what kind of person you are too. You know, it's not, and like it goes back to what you said before, it's not just about yourself. It's not just about, you know, how far you can get in your career, but, you know, who can you bring up with you, with your team and place and put them in their dream jobs and everything.
Yeah, I think in Boston it's really easy to sort of create this persona of being this individual marketing rock star and cool, happy for those people, but to me the real sign of your success is how many people are out there just singing the praises of your leadership. How many people have you helped when nobody was watching, and the energy that you get from it, right? It's one thing to be like, I like helping people, right? It makes people sound really kind and nice. It's about more than that. It's literally, do you get your energy from watching other people be at their best selves? And if you do, then I think everything else kind of just falls in line.